Hey everyone, Shaniqua here, and I'm currently editing the videos, getting ready to upload all 5 of them for Spiritual Sunday, and all 5 of them have really bad audio. I was unable to sync the audio from my external mic with the audio from the on-camera microphone, and it's just really noisy and bad quality. But I didn't want to skip uploading altogether because I made these videos for you guys so you have some spiritual guidance for the week, and I'm going to push through and fulfill that purpose. So I hope you can look past the bad audio. I know how to fix it for next time, and I hope you enjoy the messages. Hello, awesome people. It's Shaniqua from What Shaniqua's Into, and today on my YouTube channel, it is Spiritual Sunday. Previously, I've been uploading the general week ahead readings on Mondays, but I'm going to go ahead and move them to Sundays because Mondays are now going to be reserved for Mindset Monday content. So make sure you guys check back on Monday for that video. Today for the general reading, we are using the Naked Heart Tarot by Jillian Wild. I just got this deck a few days ago, and it's got a very minimalistic art style, but it's got bright pops of color, so it's been really fun to read with, and I thought, why not continue breaking it in by using it for a collective reading. So the spread that we're going to use today is Energy, Challenge, Advice, Know, Remember, Consider, plus the context and deeper lesson offer. This is an original spread created by me, so I think I'm pretty good at reading it. But once we finish the general collective reading, I am actually going to be recording 4 more videos for the fire signs, the air signs, the water signs, and the earth signs. So if you watch this video and parts of it resonate, parts of it don't, or you just kind of want more information, make sure to check back for your sign group. Fire signs are, of course, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Air signs are Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Water signs are Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So, like I said, if this reading leaves a little bit more to be desired and you want something a bit more specific to you rather than something that is applicable to everyone, make sure to come back and check for the video for your sign group. So with all of that being said, I have already sort of pre-shuffled the cards. I'm going to do a few overhand shuffles just to, really get started. And I forgot to mention that this deck is actually 79 cards instead of the traditional 78. There is one more major arcana card which is named for the deck itself, and it's called the Naked Heart card. I haven't pulled it in any readings yet, but I haven't taken it out of the deck, so it could pop up, it could not. If it does, I'll probably grab the guidebook for this deck to see exactly what the artist and creator intended to be taken away from that card. So I feel like the overhand shuffles are sufficient. I'm going to go ahead and do my normal 3 riffle shuffles and cut the deck into 5 piles. Put it back together and then pull from the top to see what general guidance Spirit has for us in the collective this week. So that's my second shuffle. I'm going to get one more riffle shuffle. And now we're going to put the deck back together and see what messages we got. Alright, let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Context, deeper lesson. So if you've been to my channel before, you've seen I like to look at the 6 main cards of the spread first, and then flip over the context and deeper lesson to kind of tie it all in together at the end. So this week, starting Sunday, August 9th, the energy is found in the Hermit, which in this deck is depicted with a turtle, or it might be a tortoise, in front of a mountain range with an owl flying overhead, which is holding a key dangling from a rope. So there's a lot of symbolism in this particular card. Many more of the designs are a bit more minimalistic, but I like that that one has a bit more to go off of and read from. So that's our energy of the week. The challenge is the Naked Heart. So I'm definitely going to grab the guidebook for this one. Our advice is in the Ten of Swords. So right off the bat, that tells me that we really have a need to be vulnerable with ourselves and to ask where and how solitude is nurturing us, because there's some mindset or mental framework that has to go and has to be, completely done away with and put to rest permanently, because it's keeping us from maybe being vulnerable and open and utilizing our solitude to the best of our capabilities. So what do we need to know? We need to know Innocence of Cups. In this deck, Innocence is equivalent to the Page. So this is Page of Cups. This has to do with imagination, playfulness, and a general youthful, kind of optimistic vibe. So that's good, because that says that we are supposed to be hopeful about whatever the challenge is that we're being guided to look at and overcome this week. We're asked to remember the Six of Pentacles and consider the movement of wands. And in this deck, movement is the equivalent of knight. So this is the Knight of Wands. So we've got 2 court cards in our main spread, 1 page, 1 knight. So this indicates sort of a beginning, not necessarily the very initial start, but if there were a queen or a king, that would indicate further progress on this understanding that we're asked to embody. But because we have a page and a knight, I feel like this is something that's unfolding, something that is developing right now. And going card by card, our energy of the week is found in the Hermit. So this is really an invitation from Spirit for you to listen to your inner wisdom and your inner guidance. When the Hermit comes up, there's probably too much influence coming from outside parties or expectations that other people have of you, and it's making it difficult for you to really light your own way, to be your own guide, to be your own sage, your own wise counsel, because everyone has that. Everyone has that. And I was just going to say, that comes from listening to your intuition, dropping into the heart space, and making the physical space required to do so. So you may be invited to participate in some activity or outing or gathering this week. I don't think this is the time for that. This is really a time to work with yourself, really work with your soul and your spirit. And there's probably a message that your intuition has been giving you for a while, but you've been downplaying it or ignoring it, or just saying, oh, I'll get to that later. This week, Spirit is saying, make the time, make it a priority, and you'll grow from it. There's only growth that can come from really dedicating yourself to a specific time for introspection in order to make sure that the choices that you're making are actually in alignment for you. Because I don't have the guidebook, right? Do I? No, the guidebook's not in the box. It's on my bed. But I don't have the guidebook for the Naked Heart Tarot right in front of me, but if I intuitively read this card, when I think about the word naked, even before we get to heart, that has to do with being raw in the most natural state and very vulnerable. And then the heart space is where we, carry our emotion. It's how we analyze our relationships, and it's also where our intuition comes from. And so I look at naked heart as a phrase, and even, just as the depiction, it's a heart with roses over top of it. And then there's also a moth, which for me indicates transformation. And then there's like an alchemical symbol. So I feel like as the challenge card having to do with emotional raw vulnerability this week, I feel like the solitude that we are being guided to give ourselves is a necessary component for that heart space knowing to come through. I just feel like there's too much noise and too many other opinions flying about to really make the introspection that we need possible. And there's some mental framework that is about to die out. Ten of Swords is ego death. It is when some way of thinking, some perspective, some system of analysis that you have relied on is now betraying you. It's now causing you pain. It's actually blocking your forward movement and even causing very intense turmoil inside, like discord within your thoughts, or just a lot of emotional pain where it feels like no one gets me, no one understands me, I can't rely on anyone. And if those are things that you are feeling, if they come up this week, Ten of Swords as advice is asking us to look at what frameworks we're using to lead us to those conclusions. Because as a 10, it's a completion of a cycle. That framework is done. It doesn't have space for the path that you're walking onto or into, as you take time to be introspective and listen to your own inner guidance. So ask yourself where a lot of that noise is coming from, and gently, without judgment, ask yourself if you can upgrade or replace that mental framework with something that's more empowering or uplifting, and doesn't leave you in such a state of stress and turmoil. So then our bottom row, we've got Innocence of Cups as what we're asked to know, Six of Pentacles for what we're asked to remember, and then Movement of Wands is what we're asked to consider. So I feel like, taken all together, this is really saying that Spirit wants us to know this week that whatever you're imagining, whatever creative outlet you've been wishing you could pursue, whatever you're dreaming of, you can do it, and you can nourish yourself and others by doing so, so long as you have the proper energy to sustain it. Because the Innocence of Cups is about imagination and playfulness and youthful energy, and falling in the position of what we need to know. That's kind of a reinforcement. That tells me that a lot of us in the collective have not been respecting or taking seriously the fantasies and imaginations and dreams that we have, probably favoring to be more realistic or, you know, what have you. But Spirit is letting us know that that is energy that we need to utilize and not run away from. Because remember that when we nourish others, we nourish ourselves, and when we allow others to nourish us, we are nourishing them in the same way. So if there's some creative art project you've been wanting to do, or something playful that you've been wanting to engage your friends in, anything that's very lighthearted and youthful that you've been kind of thinking about and pushing away and thinking about and pushing away, we're asked to remember that that would actually nourish you if you did it, and other people. And that cycle is going to continue. I love that she's got the fish swimming around each other. That cycle is going to continue so long as you take the action to set it in motion. So don't run away from what you think might be childish or unrealistic, because we have every thought of every desire for a reason, and it's up to us to determine if those reasons are positive and helpful and nurturing, or the opposite. And we're asked to consider with the Movement of Wands, are we going to put in the passion and management of our personal energy to see this through? Because Knight of Wands is really a character archetype that's motivated by excitement. So it's always interesting that fire and water, or wands and cups, are opposite elementally, but they carry such similar energy, because fire is passion and drive and willpower, and desire, which is more fiery, does play a role in our emotions and our feelings and how we relate to people. So as a consideration, whatever card falls in this position, I always think of a question that we're meant to ask, given everything else that we talked about. That naked heart challenge vulnerability really makes sense when you look at what we're asked to know in the Innocence of Cups. If you don't trust that your dreams or fantasies can be reality, and you dismiss them as, you know, whimsical, childish nonsense, then you don't have the vulnerability enough in your emotional body to be honest when you're being introspective. And then you can't let go of that frame of thought, and it's going to keep you in a cycle that's meant to be over. So ask yourself what you can do to cultivate the proper energy to pursue a passion project this week, or just bring more youthful optimism into your day to day. It really is telling me that solitude is very, very important this week. Even if you can't carve out physical space to be by yourself, try and find some time where you can interact with others as little as possible while you are intentionally thinking about these things. So I feel like that was pretty good for the 6 main cards. Let's see what we got for the context. Okay, context, we got 2 of Wands, and then the deeper lesson offered, okay, we've got 3 of Pentacles, so that makes sense to me. Contextually, there's a choice that needs to be made. Are you, staying or going? Are you going to maintain the status quo, or are you going to shake things up? Are you going to stick with the old, or are you going to seek the new? This really is about, where do I want to use my power? This is a very empowered card because it comes with an understanding that I can, and you can do either choice that these wands indicate for you. But again, with that Hermit being the overall energy, what is the wisest choice that you can make without undue influence from the outside? And remember how I was saying with the Innocence or Page of Cups, there may be some social activity or something that you want to do, or even, just some sort of, I really keep hearing like creative outlet, like some sort of project that may require input from other people. And when you're in your hermit space this week, ask yourself who would make a good teammate in that creative pursuit, or if it's something that would be better done solo. Because the 3 of Pentacles is about teamwork and about the individual strengths of each member of a team. It normally indicates initial progress on some financial project or some management of a material resource, whether that's like your time or your health, your food, your money. But it has to do with people coming together with different strengths and expertise that work well. And so in that regard, in that vein, we've talked a lot about frameworks, mental frameworks not working anymore, and listening to and respecting your imagination and your dreams for yourself. So how can you bring in true teamwork energy from the people around you that already know about the things that you're interested in? And if there are people who want to be a part of your projects but are not in alignment for you, then that's coming back to the advice of the week and asking that you release those team members in favor of ones better suited to what it is you're trying to accomplish and your overall emotional well-being, because we can't forget about the challenge of the week. Okay, so I feel like that is a pretty good reading and message for the general collective this week. I really hope that it resonated. If it did, definitely leave me some comments down below. And don't forget to come back and check for your elemental sign group. I'm about to record the reading for the fire signs, so hopefully I will see you guys there, and we will have some more fun looking at some tarot cards. If not, and this is the only one that you want to watch, I hope it helped, and you guys have a great week. See you next time.